Let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about something I know a lot of you are curious about, using AI to actually build a side income. We're going to cut through all the hype and get down to the practical steps you can take to go from just playing with AI tools to actually making money with them. So, let's get to it.
So, this is the big question, right? We hear all the time about how AI is changing the world, but can it actually, change your bank account? Well, the answer is a huge yes, but it's not some magic button that prints money. It's really about learning a new set of skills and climbing a kind of value ladder.
And that's exactly our game plan for today. First, we'll quickly define what we even mean by an AI hustle. Then we'll start climbing that skill ladder I just mentioned, going from the creator to the builder and all the way up to the strategist. And most importantly, we'll wrap up with a simple, concrete action you can take as soon as we're done here.
Okay, let's kick things off at level 1, the AI creator. This is, by far, the easiest way for anyone to get started. You don't need to know how to code, you don't need a bunch of complex tech. It's all about using these incredibly powerful AI tools to create valuable content that people are already paying for. Think of yourself as an artist, but with a superpowered AI paintbrush.
First up on the creator level is something called AI voice cloning. And look, the concept is actually super simple. You basically record yourself talking for about 30 minutes, you upload that nice clean audio, and then an AI does its magic. It analyzes your tone, your pitch, your pacing, everything that makes your voice yours, and it creates a perfect digital copy. From then on, you can just type text and it'll speak it in your voice. Your voice literally becomes a digital asset.
Now this is where it gets really interesting, because this creates a massive market opportunity. Right now, a human narrator might charge thousands of dollars to record an audiobook. An AI voice clone, it can do the same job for just cents per page. That huge gap in cost creates an enormous demand for affordable, high-quality voiceovers, and that's where you can step in.
And trust me, the demand is absolutely everywhere. We're talking about companies needing voices for their e-learning and training modules, independent authors who dream of having an audiobook but can't afford a full studio production, and one of the biggest ones? Quick, cheap ads for social media. Even YouTubers and podcasters are jumping on this to make their workflow way more efficient.
Okay, the other big hustle for creators is selling AI-generated stock images. The workflow is simple. You use a tool like Midjourney or Adobe Firefly, you type in a description of what you want to see, that's your prompt, and the AI creates a totally unique image for you. You can then take that image, upload it to sites like Adobe Stock, and earn a little money every single time someone downloads it.
But here's the million-dollar question. What kind of images actually sell? Well, the data is pretty clear. People are constantly searching for images of business teams and meetings, concepts about technology and innovation, or cool illustrations for travel blogs. Even simple, minimalist abstract art does really well for things like website backgrounds. The key takeaway here is to create what the market is already asking for.
Okay, so that was level 1, all about creating content with AI tools. Now, let's level up. Welcome to level 2, the AI builder. This is where you make a big shift. You stop just using the tools and you start building simple AI products that you can actually own and sell yourself.
I mean, think about it, right? Anybody can create a custom GPT and just share the link, but it feels pretty generic. A builder takes that a step further. They don't just write a great prompt. They package that prompt and that intelligence into a professional-looking tool, something with a brand that feels like a unique piece of software, like a special marketing copy generator for small businesses, or maybe a lesson plan assistant just for teachers.
And you know what? The process is way simpler than you might think. You start with your powerful system prompt. That's the secret sauce, the brain of your chatbot. You paste that into a wrapper tool. Then comes the fun part. You customize the whole interface with your brand's colors, your fonts, your logo, and boom, you get a little piece of code you can embed right on your website or inside a digital course. It's not just OpenAI's tool anymore. It's your tool.
All right, time to climb to the final rung of the ladder. Level 3, the AI strategist. This is where you make the leap from just being a tool user or a product builder into a high-value consultant. You're no longer just providing a simple service, you're solving big, expensive business problems. And that, my friends, commands a much higher price tag.
And when I say premium, I'm not kidding. We're seeing top-tier prompt engineers and AI consultants pulling in rates of $300 an hour, sometimes even more. But why? It's because they're not just writing prompts. They're designing entire systems that can save a company thousands or tens of thousands of dollars.
So what's the real difference between a $50 an hour person and a $300 an hour strategist? It all comes down to the soft skills.
A real pro knows how to run a discovery call to figure out what a client actually needs. They know how to educate the bosses on what AI can and, just as importantly, can't do. They think about the person who's going to use the tool and they document everything so the client isn't left in the dark.
And look, at the very top of this game, a strategist doesn't just fly solo. They often build an entire AI automation agency. They move way beyond single prompts and start designing these complex automation systems that connect a whole bunch of different tools and departments inside a company. They become a totally essential partner.
Now, to pull this off, your toolbox has to get a little bigger. You're going to use no-code platforms like Zapier or Make. Think of them as the digital glue that connects all the different apps. For really tough jobs, you might dive into frameworks like LangChain. And just as critical are the project management tools like Notion and communication tools like Slack to keep everybody on the same page.
But I want to leave you with a really crucial piece of advice for this level, something that comes up again and again. Don't fall into the complexity trap. The quote says it all. Complexity is the enemy of execution. Your goal isn't to build the most complicated, mind-blowing automation ever. It's to build one that gets the job done simply and reliably. Always start small.
Okay, so we've climbed the whole ladder from creator to builder to strategist, but all this knowledge doesn't mean a thing if you don't take action. So let's make this real. Let's talk about the one concrete step you can take right now to go from just watching this to actually doing something.
So here's your first mission, if you choose to accept it. Go to a voice cloning tool like ElevenLabs. A lot of them have free plans to get you started. Find a quiet room, maybe grab a book or an article, and just record yourself reading for about a half hour. Upload that file, and within minutes, you will have created your very first digital asset, a perfect, usable clone of your own voice. And just like that, you've taken the very first step. You'll actually own a digital asset that can create new content all by itself. So the real question, the one I want to leave you with, is this. Now that you have it, what will you